Hi, everyone. Um, First of all, drop a one if you can hear me and I'm using the right microphone. Drop a one if you can hear me and I am, in fact, using the correct microphone. While you guys do that, I wanted to do a big shout out, thank you for watching my Emigrate video. Um, that was a passion project of mine. I was reading, watching her content. I actually went in there wanting to like her and wanting to defend her. Um, and I just came out just I just came out. I was like, oh, girl, absolutely not. Um, so I because I didn't want it to be a drag, I edited that video, I re-recorded that video. It was just a lot. And to see that you all are watching it, because I know it's not the typical video on the channel, and so I didn't I actually expected maybe 1,000 people if I had to watch that video. So the fact that y'all are watching it, commenting like really thoughtful comments, um thank you. um it don't look like it, it does not look like much, but it did take a lot of work to get that to you all. So I want to say thank you all for watching that. Another thing that I wanted to say is that I truly appreciate all of you. Oh, you know what? I didn't realize I have the Dr. Themis. Me being not me up here talking and while being messy. Um, let me. This was for something else. Let me update this. Ain't nobody got time for me playing around like this. All right, I don't know how to edit it, so um edit name. Not me playing around on Beyonce's internet. All right. So there are a couple of things that I want to address today. I'm gonna hit the intro. Um I respect people who are content creators. I don't think it is an easy thing to be out here giving your opinion. Um, and oh, I like your hair up. Oh, thank you. And so I was away this weekend. I just got back. I literally just landed. Um, I just got back from way in the Midwest, I think you call it. I was over there, girl, zipping it and sewing it at a wedding, giving what needed to be gave. And I just got back today. And if I were here yesterday, I would have gone live yesterday. But I wanted to go live today because I want to level set. There are some things happening on my channel and on Steph Ghost's channel. And I just want to clarify some things in the comments so that there aren't any misunderstandings. You know what I mean? Like I just want to go ahead and do some clarification and some touch points, right? So if you came for a drag, ain't no drag. Like it is what it is. So I'm going to hit the intro, come back, and we're gonna like really sit down and talk. I don't have my notes. I did take notes, but I decided, you know what? Let's wing it. Let's see how this goes. Because that's what happened on the last video. I said, let's wing it. And here we are. So let me talk. Grab your coffee, water, tea, whatever you're drinking, go and get that. And let's talk. All right. So, the first thing I wanted to say is I review a lot of content creators. We all review a ton of content creators, right? And I say I reserve the right to remove, not remove comments and videos when I make them. I also said whoever I talk about has the right to come here and shut it down. That is, come up and talk to me, right? I always give people respect when they're talking to me. It's That's always a thing. I let them lead the conversation. In a lot of ways, I only ask very specific questions that helps me to understand where that person is coming from, but I let people tell their story however they want. And usually people get mad afterwards and say, "Oh, you tricked me, you set me up," or whatever. I take those hits. When I am here, I don't know if you guys know this because you don't go frequent other people's channel, I realize. But when I started YouTube and started talking about the manosphere, there was a time where there were a ton of videos dragging me for filth, and I never responded. I never responded to any of them, but there were a ton of men doing hour-long live stream, 24-hour-long live stream, dragging me for filth. And some of them I watched, kikied a little bit, and had my popcorn. And there was one time I was watching, and I was at my mom's house and she came in and she heard someone talking about me and they were calling me the F word. The girl, they were dragging me for filth. And my mom got really sad. And so I felt bad. And that's why I stopped watching. And for some reason, most of those videos have disappeared off YouTube, and those people have gone their separate ways. But I've never responded to them, never commented on them. You guys don't go over there and fight for me on any of them. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I understood on I think a fundamental basis that the kind of engagement with other people should be, from my perspective, done with some level of respect. Now, it does not mean I don't laugh. It does not mean I won't say things that are weird or whatever. But I think hopefully at the base, there is some respect. Now, if you don't feel like respect was given, whatever, right? I watched Steph Cole's response to my video. We're going to watch it live, but there are some things that I want to talk about her response. And I am not mad at her response. I think you get to feel how you want to feel. You get to express how you want to feel, how you want to feel. What I do have a problem with, and I will be addressing more directly, are the people who are commenting. The people who are commenting and are being kind of vicious, I welcome that, but note that I get to respond back to you. And I said that because while I was reviewing Steph Cole's video, what she did was some foolishness. I stand by absolutely everything that I said in that video. I will not be removing that video. I thought about removing it yesterday. I went back and forth because Stefko removed both of her videos. And I remember Stefko has done this multiple times before, where she says something private, she talks about the response. She says she's going to remove the video, and then she removes it and then re-uploads and rinse and repeat. If that is her content strategy, that's her content strategy. I don't believe it's just a content strategy. I actually do believe that she feels emotional about this and she's acting the way that she thinks best protects her peace. And I implore her and anyone else to continue to do what is in the best interest of them to protect their peace. Love that down, period. But I'm not going to remove my video. The reason I'm not going to review my video, twofold. First, I've seen a lot of women come over to my channel in the last couple of days, and they've noted there are a lot of comments saying, "Oh, I thought you were dragging Stefko. I watched your video. I did not realize it was this bad. I cannot believe it is this bad. Thank you for keeping your video up and letting me see what happened because I literally thought you were dragging her, and I appreciate that you were not." Right? So that's on one hand. Um, and so I cannot take it down for that reason. The second is someone said, this is one comment under Stefko's video, that I did this to build my platform on Stefko's name. And you want to know what's funny about that? It's funny because I was about to private the video. I literally had the video up for one day because I did not want Stefko to see it and misinterpret it or whatever. And I was about to remove the video. Stefko, in her video, said, it is she understands people are going to review and comment and engage with her video. In the video that we were doing, she paused multiple times to express that she knew, and she said, "Go ahead," right, in her video. And under my video, she made a comment saying that it is like, "I hope we have fun." She talking about her video and whatever, right? And so she already saw it and said it's fine, whatever. So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And the video itself on my channel, as it was situated, was doing just regularly. Like, it wasn't doing great, it wasn't doing poorly. It was just like sitting in the middle of like my general content. Like 9,000 people, 10,000 people watch by in a day or two. Like, it caps out and then falls off, and that's kind of what happens. Stefka then made a response, removed her original video, and then people started searching for my video because they don't know what the video is about. So if you remove your video, instead of driving traffic to your own channel, you drove traffic to my channel. And now the video sits at like 16,000 views. That is like in a couple of days. That's huge for my channel, but it would not, the video would not have performed that well on its own. The video would not, like, the video would not have performed on its own that well. Like, I'm actually perplexed at the idea. If you remove your video, of course mine is going to do well when it's the only place people could come to see what you're talking about. That does not make sense. So, I don't understand the notion that I was building on Stefko's name. The video is only doing well now because Stefko amplified the video. That's it. That is the only reason the video is doing well now. And I want to say that I'm not here to like drag my chat and my comment. The comment section from my video is overwhelmingly positive. Overwhelmingly positive. And this is a community that drags me for the slightest thing. So, like, it's not like you guys just support me doing whatever. If it were bad, I would be getting dragged that it were bad. And so it is overwhelmingly the case that people are engaging with the substance of what I'm saying. I go over to Stefko's channel and I realize the people who are supporting her, which again, you get to support whoever you want, they're not actually dealing in the substance of what was actually said. There are vague words like vulnerability and realness and being raw and emotional, and people commenting on that. There were actual words that were said. There were actions taken. The comments being made, you can agree with, disagree with, but to pretend and reduce all of that to I was being vulnerable is insane. So if and this is not lightning Stefko or anyone to like a killer, an abuser, or anything like that. But like if an abuser came out and I said I was depressed, so I unalived someone, are we gonna say, "Oh my God, that's vulnerable"? No, you're gonna take the actual steps to get that person to where they need to go. Like, we're not about to sit here and be like, "Oh my God, it was vulnerability," right? So I wanted to level set in that way. This video that I'm doing is not necessary. This video actually hurts the first video. This video allows us to get the emotional catharsis that we need. And so we're not rewatching and commenting on the first video I made about this, which would propel that video in the algorithm. So I'm actually doing the people who don't want growth on my channel a service by doing this video, right? Okay, good. Now that we have that out of the way, Sar, welcome to the membership. Thank you. Now that we have that out of the way, let's actually talk. It is absolutely degenerate It is absolutely the height of degeneracy for anyone to be in my comments or anyone else's comments pretending like they don't understand that having quote unquote low self esteem is not an excuse to allow yourself to be involved with a man who is in a relationship or a woman who is in a relationship. Like, we're not about to sit here and play dumb. So if we want to talk about what was actually said and what was actually done, let's do that. Let's have compassion to the person and for the person who is experiencing the thing that they're experiencing, right? We can have compassion for Stefko, and we should. But it is insane that I'm reading comments after comments after comments saying that I've been through this, I'm reflected in this, I cannot believe that this is not understood as a norm. This is not a norm. This is not a norm. My energy right now is not to Stefko. We do things that are not great all the time. My issue is for the broader community of people who think because I have low self esteem, I get to sleep with other people's men and pretend that that's not a degenerate thing to do. That's my issue. And yes, I have continuously said that you are not obligated to upholding the vows of someone else's relationship. I'm talking about your obligation. I do not believe you're obligated to upholding the vows of someone else's relationship. That does not mean you sleeping with someone who is in a relationship excuses your the moral foolishness that you're engaging in. That is morally bankrupt. That is not right. Some girl came on here, woman, and talked about how their twin flame was someone else's husband. And that person literally got mad at me because I pointed out to them in real time, this is a supporter of mine. I pointed out to them in real time that that was degenerate. So what do you think I'm going to think about someone just sleeping around with someone who is already in a relationship? And no, you don't get to say Stefko did not know that that woman and man was in a relationship, because before she slept with him that last time, he told her, or she found out, and she decided to tell us that they were in an ethical non-monogamous relationship. An ethical non-monogamous relationship requires all persons involved to be aware of material relationships and to be able to give consent. For you to give consent, you have to have information. So because Stefko did not feel comfortable saying, oh, I slept with someone knowing that he was with someone else, she then said he was in an ethical non-monogamous relationship. It can't be an ethical non-monogamous relationship if he's lying to you about being in a relationship with the woman he has at home with a child. Please. When I watched Stefko's video initially, I had not seen any parts. I know a lot of content creators sit up and lie and say, oh, I haven't seen it, but they already saw it and have notes. I'm not one of those content creators. If I told you I have not seen something and I'm watching it in real time for the first time, I'm watching it in real time for the first time. When I was watching Stefko's video, that was the first time I saw any of the content. I actually did not know how the live was going to go. I remember there were multiple people in my Discord who were dragging me for filth because I actually defended Stefko when she made the mistake the first time. When the guy told her, I don't love you, I could never love you, and she packed her things and said, okay, I'm gone. I defended her. We all make mistakes, we all fall short, we all are humans, we fail. Then to pick yourself back up and go there, that was where I was like, oh, this is weird, right? And then I was reacting in real time. But please don't mistake the fact that I'm reacting in real time for me not knowing what I'm talking about. It is weird to be defending someone because you think, true or not, that they have low self-esteem. So because they have low self-esteem, they get to sleep around with people who are in relationship, would you be friends with someone who slept with your man because they told you, oh, I have low self-esteem? Hopefully you will dump the man because the man is degenerate, but hopefully you would also dump the friend because what do you mean? We're not going to just be friends with someone who will just sleep with your man because, oh, I have low self-esteem and I can't tell a man no. Let's not play these games. Now, I say that, pointing out that there is a moral issue around the way Stefco engaged. And while I can call her out for that moral issue and I can have a problem with her um, decision, I'm not dragging her specifically for that decision because I think it's bad and I'll just say it's bad. What I am addressing, and I want to make it clear, I am addressing the people in the comments who are defending this behavior, saying it's human and everyone does this. Everyone does not do this. Someone said that I must be projecting because why would I talk about this? I'm like, what do you mean projecting? I don't know what you mean. So you can, if you can clarify, please let me know first. Second, isn't it odd that we are having conversations now about how we should not be centering men in relationship? And I'm not giving advice to women. You guys can do whatever you want. I will just review it. But it's weird to like say, oh, male centered, and we talk about not centering men and whatever. And then we defend some of the weirdest behaviors as if we don't, it feels from my perspective that there's a group of people who do not want to grow at all, fine. But then you cannot articulate this lack of willingness to grow and expect everyone to be in agreement with you. All right. Demas, you're addressing the comments, and rightfully so, but this audience, this community has been attacking Steph personally, and it just feels wrong. Okay, I I don't see, and maybe I have a blind spot. I do not see where this community attacks Stefco, right? I did see people calling her a bird, and I said, don't do that. But she called herself a bird. Like her title was that a bird finally leaves Mr. New York or something like that. That was the title of her video, which from my perspective, it highlights a kind of self-awareness, right? But then she's upset, or people in her comments are upset that people are pointing out the things she's pointing out about herself. Like she's the one who called herself a bird, not me. No, um, not not her first story time normalizing being the side chick too. Right. This is the part that I'm very confused about, right? And then there is this conversation, and I do want to respect it. I do want to hold space. I do want to hold space for this critique of me. And the critique of me is that I am being too harsh on her. Okay. Let me first say, Bianca, thank you so much. Also, welcome to the membership. I think, yeah, welcome to the membership. That I'm being too harsh on stuff go. So, yes, and I want so badly to resonate. I want to be in sync with this critique. It feels disjointed. Here's why. The way that I hold back, particularly when it comes to Stefko's willingness to cheat with and allow a man to cheat with her on another woman and then make herself the victim, I don't think you guys understand how vile I find that. I do. I find that to be disgusting. I do not like cheaters. And we've talked about the whole cheating situation before. And I don't think it's equal, mind you. I don't actually think this is equal. But there is a part of me that is like I'm revolted by the idea that you would knowingly be a part of a situation where a man is cheating on a woman. To knowingly take part in that is a problem for me, right? And so I am trying, I am genuinely trying to not make my personal moral philosophy take charge of the way that I engage with Steph, because Steph is a human being who makes mistakes, and we make mistakes. The problem is how many more mistakes? Like I don't understand. How many more times are you gonna make the same mistake? Like you're going to sleep with everyone's man because like you have low self esteem. And that's not a reason to sleep with someone's man. And I know it's not your responsibility to keep that man faithful, but it's your responsibility to uphold some level of like morality. But again, that's my sense of morality. Maybe you all think it's okay. And I don't know how to argue against you because there is not there's obligation. You don't owe people if you don't believe this. I actually do believe you owe. My moral philosophy is you owe people things. You owe people care. You owe people some level of kindness. You owe people some level of solidarity, right? But maybe that's not yours. And so I'm trying to figure out when it comes to like our differing moral philosophy, how much of that can animate the way that I discuss an individual. Because I can drag someone who is cheating. The man can be dragged immediately. The woman who understands the man's position and sleeps with that man is a problem from my perspective. But if it's not a problem from yours, and it looks like, in defense of Steph, it looks like there is not, like, people don't have an issue with this. Like when Steph comes out, and this is gonna sound like an attack on her, and I promise it's not. But when she says, I found out he was in an ethical, non-monogamous relationship. That does not make sense. And if you think that makes sense, I don't know what to tell you. That does not make sense. You cannot find out he's in an ethical, non-monogamous relationship after he's been lying to you about being in a relationship at all. Yeah, you cannot consent to that. You don't have knowledge of his relationship. He's being deceptive in his articulation of his singleness, right? Like, that's not ethical. So you saying he's in an ethical non-monogamous relationship and then you sleep with him feels like you are attempting to justify for yourself why you slept with him. And you're not about to convince me that a black man who is there in New York told you I'm in an ethical non-monogamous relationship. It felt like something. Okay, this is my own opinion. It felt like something Stefko just said. Honestly, it felt like something Stefka just said. Like, oh, he's in an ethical, non-monogamous relationship after he lied to me about being in a relationship and all. Go, what? So, another thing that I need to talk about easily is people say, how can he be compassionate when he's laughing at her pain? I'm still laughing right now. I laugh when I'm uncomfortable. I laugh when there's a shift in my emotion. I laugh. The only time I don't laugh, my emotions aren't expressed in laughter. Even when I'm sad, I laugh. Is when I'm angry or like super disappointed. But anger and even disappointment, I laugh. When I'm angry, that's the only time like I don't feel the need to laugh. Most of the time on here, I'm suppressing laughter. It's just a fact of who I am. Like it's just it's just a fact of who I am. Like it's what I was at my uncle's funeral, who I love dearly, and something happened. Won't say what, and I started crying from laughter. Like I was sitting there fine, just meditating, and something happened, and I started crying from holding back laughter, and I was sad. So that's that on that. No, cheating with someone and then trying to make yourself out to be the victim is just yeah. Like, and I feel like a lot of what is being said isn't being parsed out because I think for a lot of people in the jealous community, I play entirely too much. But for a lot of people in the jealous community, I think there is a willingness to allow certain kinds of bad behavior in the way that we talk about it. Because once we've made a person out to be the victim, they get to engage in really toxic behaviors without being checked because oh they're just really sad or they're going through it, but I'm sorry you don't get to sleep with my partner and say oh but you can't let me have it, please just let me have it because like I'm going through it, I don't think I'm great, I don't think I look good, so like I just wanted it, let me have it. If the it you want to have is my partner, it's a chop. And if the it you want to have is someone else's partner, it's a chop, like it's a problem. Point blank period. All right. So now hopefully it's not private at all gone. And I leave the research ether thing out. Let me go to this video and we're gonna talk. So now I'm gonna address that was to address the comment section. I think what um Stefka did was bad behavior. I think it was wrong. But I wouldn't drag her for it being wrong. If I'm doing a video, I'm just saying, hey, this was wrong. I don't like this. It is what it is. Right? Cool. I don't think I did that. Now I'm going to address Stefko directly. I'm going to watch her video because I'm not like we're not going to be this content creator. That it's Stefko. I'm talking about Stefko, girl. I am not going to play these games. So let's watch Stefko's video together. A large portion of Stefko's audience seem to be infantilizing her. It is just too parasocial, which she seems to further foster. Yeah. Like you gonna remove the video and pretend like, oh my God, like you're driving traffic to my video and then people using that traffic to say, oh, he's building. Girl, ain't nobody building nothing. Let's be very clear. As soon as I hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, I thought I made it. There was never a point where I felt more excited than that 500 subscribers. Let's be very clear. I did not think a person want to hear someone with my accent talk for hours on end. So like, ain't nobody trying to build nothing on anyone's name. But if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Period. I just wanted to let my audience know what I'm doing. Okay. uh, by the way, none of that energy, whatever you feel, was aimed at Stefko. I am now going to address Stefko directly. And again, I don't go fight. If she's attacking me, which I already watched this video, none of this is about dragging her. If she drags me, I'm gonna just skip that part because I ain't nobody got time. Like, you believe what you believe about me, I believe what I believe about you. It doesn't matter. Let's talk about actually what the substance is. So, no, this is not, oh, they're fighting. No. And I do think Stefko deserves care and love and grace in the way that we discuss her. I do. And I tried. Now I'm not saying I succeeded because people think I dragged her, but I did try to give her grace and space and care. Like I did not say, "Oh, you're a mess." Like I didn't do any of that. And truth, I don't actually think I think she's a cute girl. I think she is smart in the way that she talks about things, but like I think she makes bad decision when it comes to men. I think she is slightly delusional, very delusional actually, when it comes to dealing with men. And her willingness to like throw other women under the bus, i.e., sleep with their man, is a problem for me. I don't. That's my opinion.
shirt on. I love the dynamic and the matching. And I'll be real with y'all. I want to get a red pair so that I can kind of give Sally Jesse Raphael from the 90s. I'm very into this aesthetic right now. And I want to say how sort of symbolic it is, I think, in my mind, that my videos for the month of May were all black shirts, black glasses. And then slowly over the past couple days, I've been working color back into my wardrobe and into my presentation here. And I think that that is very symbolic of where I am as a person. April was a very, very difficult month emotionally. And so when I
It looks like her supporter. The issue is the comment section, honestly. The subscribers from both creators can be problematic. You and Stefko are not. Someone said a lot of Stefko's fans are here. I want to. Yeah. To be fair, let me be fair again. Let me be clear what I'm doing. It is not my channel that, like, my channel has not been dragging me or anything. I think I've gone to Stefko's channel, and something that I've seen, and I wanted to engage with this, is there's an unwillingness to deal substantively with what was said. And all of it gets flattened into she's being vulnerable. But if your vulnerability is disclosing harmful behavior to other women and yourself and people are celebrating this is a problem. And no, let me also say this. This is including Stefko. You do not get to be upset at people commenting on stories you told and talk about how you wanted to contain it when you dragged Onyeka for being delusional. Stefko dragged rightfully. Let's be very clear, rightfully, because Onyeka was being delusional. But Stefko rightfully dragged her for being delusional. You don't get to do that and then come back and say, oh, you don't get to touch my content. And how dear people are like, why is anyone talking about you? You told your story and you were being vulnerable. Why would anyone react to it? Well, why would you react to it? Like, let's not play these online games. Like, if I told you a story on here, please know that I processed it and you can drag me. There's something covertly narcissistic about this. She created a channel calling herself ugly and is using it as a shield for her bad behavior. I don't know if it's narcissism. I don't know if what Stefka believes and what she doesn't believe, and I don't have the credentials, regardless of what Dr. Brian thinks. I don't have the credential to diagnose her. I know this is a trait and not you diagnosing. I get that. But I don't know that I would go that far. I do truly, this is my belief though. I believe she believes what she says about herself. I do. I wish she didn't. I wish she understood how much she could offer the world in terms of growth, in terms of teaching people through her own action how to be secure, even in a world that might tell you you shouldn't feel secure. She has the potential to do amazing things. I believe, like, to be fair though, I do believe that about most women, black women in particular, but most people. So I'm not saying this to like sugarcoat any negative feelings I have towards her. I don't actually have negative feelings towards her. I actually think she is a good content creator. I disagree mostly with her take, even when I ultimately agree with the conclusion, how she got there. We have different views, but I watch. I don't sit around all day watching people I don't like. I have no animosity towards her at all. I just really wish that she wouldn't normalize very bad toxic behaviors.
started showing up here, it showed up in my presentation. And now I'm feeling different. I'm feeling lighter. And so that's starting to show up as well. That being said, from a new vantage point, from a new perspective, I did want to jump on here really quickly before the month ends on a Saturday, which is like something I never do. And I wanted to talk about a decision that I made regarding content on this channel. It's been about 3 years since I have gone on a mass, like, well, not mass, actually, no, I did it at the end of last year. I went through and deleted and privated a couple things, but it's definitely been 3 years since I've sort of made a big hubbub about it, like talked about it, announced I was doing it. I've gone in and quietly deleted several things, but to actually announce it and to discuss it, that's a little something different. And the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is similar to the reason why I did it back then. I posted something last week, not this week that just passed, but the week before, and it did not land very well at all. And it just made me realize something about who I want to be in the online space and who I don't want to be. And I decided that I no longer wanted that content on my page. Let's talk about what I posted. So if you've been following along for the last couple years, you know that there was a weird back and forth stress relationship between me and someone who lives in the beautiful city of New York. And I called him my remote lover. And we fought and stressed each other out for 2.5 years. And finally, in the month of April, I said, enough is enough. I'm going to go up and see my favorite dancing white people, Whitney Levitt and Mark Ballas. And I did actually make it to the show. I thought of putting proof that I made it to the show in my initial story time about it. But I was like, if they want proof,
I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to cut point for point. I'll just let her talk to the issue that I want to address. I won't go point for point. But this is also a problem. 2 things. First, no one said you didn't go. She's addressing me, so it's weird to not like correct every point, but I won't. I will not be correcting every. No one said you didn't go to Chicago to see Chicago and see your favorite white people do what they do. No one said that. I actually believe you went, but that's not why you went to New York. When you say I did not think I would come back single, all right. So again, there is an unwillingness. There's an unwillingness to like really grapple with the truth or the lies of what is being told. Like we are talking about, you went to New York, fine, great. But you went there after years of communicating with this man and you wanted to be with this man. And so, like, that's the issue, right? You found an excuse to go to New York, but the reason you went was because of this man, right? Now, you can say, Themis, why do you care? I'm not going to explain none of that. The thing that I wanted to point out is when you position the video as if we were lying about you going to New York, isn't like that's weird, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. The remote lover thing. At the end of her first video, I pointed out that she also pointed out that the guy has a girlfriend, and she believed that this remote lover of hers is already in a relationship. So you spend 2 years being remote lover to a man that you knew was in a relationship. That the this is the part, and who told you they could never love you? This was what I was focused on the entirety of the video. So if you felt like I did not give enough grace and care to Stefko, and Stefko does not address me directly, but I was the only person who responded, so whatever. If you felt like I didn't give enough grace and care, please note that part of the animating theory around what was happening is that Stefko was willingly participating and helping this man cheat on someone else. Even though she said it's a preference on a biracial woman, it does not excuse the fact that you were engaged in this kind of behavior. And so now that we know why it is that there might have been energy that you guys did not like, I will pull back now that you all know this. And I will try to address the part of this with the kind of grace that I do think it deserves. But note that I think this is bad behavior. I'm also Jamaican, so the fact that I'm moving and like my voice inflection or whatever, it's not hate or anything. It's just how I talk. So that's the only apologies you will get in this chat because I stand by everything that I said. Cool. All right.
I can go over to my Patreon where I posted my vlog. Couldn't post my vlog about it here because I used real Broadway like music and I talked about that before. But I said I'm going to go see them. I'm going to take a little trip and I am going to, and we're going to cross something. We're going to do something with me and him. Something's going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen. I definitely was of 2 minds about it. On one hand it was, oh, this is so stupid. And on the other hand it was slightly hopeful. I'm not going to lie. But overall the goal was.
She said verbatim, I did not think I was going to come back single. You were not of two minds. You cannot say I did not think I was gonna come back single and say you're of two minds. Like Kelly, she is self on her way. I don't understand. The people drop a one if you are in defense of Stefco and you want me to clarify something to you directly. Because like I don't know what like I don't know what this be like. If you say Themis, it's your tone. Okay, can't do nothing about none of that. So got it. But I don't know what y'all are defending. Say Themis, it's your tone. Period. Drop a one if you want to come check me on behalf of Steph Cole because I don't know what it is that y'all are defending. Like I honest to God don't know what you're defending.
Clarity. What is about this connection that's kept us pulling at each other? What is it? What is it? Now, according to some of y'all, it was very simple and easy to understand. And I'm a big dumb bird bitch for believing it was anything else. But for me, it did feel bigger, and it was bigger, and it was important. And so those are my feelings about it. And I don't expect you to have those feelings about it. But I decided to go up. We had the experience we had. It was definitely, I'm just going to say, from a content producer standpoint, it was a decent piece of content. You know, I was watching.
All right, Miss, I'm going to drop this. I'm going to drop the link for you, by the way. And no, I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to drag you. You all should know that I don't do that to people when they come up. So I shouldn't have to clarify that.
A clip from the Kardashians. Kim Kardashian was talking and she was like, the worst reality producers we have in this family are Kris Jenner and Kourtney Kardashian Barker because they want us to take things out. Kris Jenner didn't want me to post, her mom didn't want me to post the fight between me and Kourtney where we were punching and hitting each other. Kourtney didn't want me to post the conversation where I was like, who got married in Italy? And then Kourtney gets married in Italy. Who sang at your wedding? Andrea Bocelli. Who had sang at my wedding? Andrea Bocelli. Like that whole thing that Kim did. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it happened. It was on the internet. You probably look it up. But anyway, Kim was like, they don't get that. Those are the moments, the sticky moments, the dramatic moments, the moments that make people angry, the moments that make people, question us and want to talk about us. Those are the moments that keep us relevant. Those are the moments that keep interesting content happening in the space. Those are the moments that keep people tuning in. People like drama. People like mess. And those are the moments you want to keep in, not keep out. I understand why you wouldn't want to keep it in, but if we have a reality TV show and we are good content producers, we need to keep these kind of things in. And I think about that whenever I go to share a personal story. Is this something that people are going to really, really like? Is this something that's going to be messy? Is it going to be interesting? Is it going to be dramatic? Is it going to be something that entertains people? Is it going to be something that people end up enjoying? And I decided long ago that there are going to be parts of my life that I will never use, I will never access, I will never use for entertainment. But there was one part that I would still allow myself to post and to talk about, and specifically one storyline, because it always felt so weird.
This, by the way, is also the problem because she says this so many times about not telling her dating stories and deleting and then reposting. I don't know. Mind you, I think they're interesting. Like, maybe not for the reason she thinks they're interesting. I think her stories are interesting. Again, not for the reason she thinks they're interesting, but she keeps doing this, and it's like, just tell the story. If you said you wanted to be Risa Tisa, she said this. Risa Tisa told her story unabashedly, and people listen. She grew, and then she became this huge thing on the internet because she engaged with it. It's not like she said, oh, you guys are wrong, you guys are disrespect. If someone is disrespecting you, and if you think I'm disrespecting you or anyone, call them out for the disrespect. But like, don't use the fact that you're being vulnerable as an excuse to not engage with meaningful critique. I would never do that. Even when people drag me, I just went about my business.
And wacky that it was even happening. It was just a very weird thing. And so I said, you know what? People all the time talk about how boring YouTube is and how they can't find any YouTubers they want to watch and how, whatever, and how overcome they are with internet essays and video essays and they want something else. And I want to share this. And I think it will be a good piece of content. I think people will be interested. And also it will be the last time that I talk about this information because me and this human being, me and this person, we don't talk anymore. And so I posted it and I knew from the beginning how it would be received. I was not surprised at all about the reception. I was a little surprised at, how intensely the comments were growing. And I've mentioned this on another video, but basically comments were at the level of a video of mine that maybe had 3 times the views or 4 times the views or something. I mean, people were really popping off. They had a lot to say, but I felt okay with that because the video was in containment. And by that, I mean, anything I post on my channel that kind of stays on my channel, it's something that happens here, that stays here, that we discuss here, and that's it. I feel like that's containment. So I can make a video that gets 100,000, 50,000, 60,000, 200,000 views, whatever it is. But as long as it stays here, people comment here.
By the way, this is not a thing because I'm not engaging with this containment thing. Is not like it's not because I don't have it. I just want to get to the point that I want to talk about. But just know this is not a thing. There is no containment. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. There isn't zero containment on YouTube. You told your story, so I reacted to it. It's not a thing. They're literally channels dedicated to reactions. Like containment on YouTube. I don't know who gave her this phrase or why she's using this phrase. It's not a thing.
Conversation is here. I feel like that's fine. Now, of course, it's the internet, so nothing ever really stays.
Also, points to her audience, because under her first video that we were watching, when I went there, it looks like there's a lot of women that really loves her and cares about her, and they're like, we want, like the comments were, we want better for you, you deserve better, you deserve the world, please stop doing this, like we love you, stop doing this, oh my god, I cannot believe you did not learn from the first situation and you're repeating the exact situation, please Steph, we want more for you, like you can do better, like that's essentially that is the Mighty, that's also my video. That's all, my video had a little laugh here, laugh there, whatever. But like, that's also my video. Like, girl, you can do better than this. But she was like, "Oh, I don't like the comments," and then she limited the comments. Like, how you gonna be Risa T and not do the work, girl? I don't know. Maybe because I laugh so much, people think I'm mean. I really am not. Like if you have to watch one of my interviews to see that I don't drag these people
in one place, but there's a difference in somebody seeing a video that you post and deciding, "Ooh, I got to go talk to my chat about this. I got to go to Discord. I have to go to Reddit. I have to go to other places, and I have to talk about this." There's a difference between somebody doing that and someone setting up a camera and saying, "I'm going to professionally," or not. I say professionally because if it's a monetized channel, they do get paid for talking about whatever you're doing. But I'm going to publicly, I'll say that, analyze, criticize, and discuss what this person is posting over on their channel. To me, that's a video breaking containment. It's like the dinosaurs making it out of the fences in Jurassic Park. Now we have a problem because now the situation has been escalated. It's not just Stephanie talking about whatever on her channel. Oh, what's she posting over there? Girl, she posted a story time and girl, it was crazy and whatever. But anyway, then we moved on. No. When something breaks containment, you can't just move on because now it lives on in a different form, in a different reality on someone else's page. Now it's different. And of course, what I'm talking about is there was another creator this week who...
You want to know something weird? This has happened so many times. Had Steph came over and said, Themis, can you please remove this video? I'm going to remove it from my channel. It was probably not the best thing to do, and so I'm going to remove it. I've removed so many videos. There's so many. Libby's video, Libby asked me to remove her video and I removed it because she came up. Libby asked me to remove a video and I... Yeah, you know how true I have to be to my words to be removing a video because Libby asked me to do it after lying so much. I want to make a commitment, but I don't know. I want to say something now, but I don't want to commit to it. So I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to commit to it. After all of this, I don't want to. um, I won't commit to it. But I did say if you give me a PO box, you say no man has ever sent you gifts. I actually meant that. For the rest of this year, I'll send you a gift every month. So you can never say that again. So also you can't say no man has ever offered to send you gifts. So I am offering to send you gifts. Yeah, she can DM me there. That's my Instagram. Go ahead and DM me.
Decided I need to talk about the things she's been posting. It's not enough for me to just write a comment in a comment section that she's probably not going to read, or to go back and forth with y'all there. I need to talk about this person holistically. I need to break this down. And I totally understand that. I'm not mad.
Someone said that, yeah, that's why that I was gonna say, if she asked me now, I would take it down, but it doesn't make any sense to do that. That's what I was going to say. But I don't, because like I also want it up and I'm going to keep it up. So that's why I didn't want to commit to that, because I think the video is actually useful. I've rewatched that video at least 3 times. And while I get annoyed at myself as a general matter when I laugh, I do. I do get annoyed at myself when I laugh, because it does feel more mean than I intend it to be, right? And I'm like, in my head, I'm just like kikiing it up with the girls. So like, it does feel a little bit more mean than I intend it to be. And I can see how maybe someone might be intimidated by that. But had she, again, it's not an offer, but had she said, "Hey, I don't like this. I don't like what you did. Can you remove?" If she said that, I would have removed the video. I've done that too many times for it to not be real.
That at all. As a netizen,
she said instead that I could keep it up, and she hoped I enjoyed it. she said, you can keep it up, and I hope you and your fans enjoy it. And I was like, oh, okay, period. Look at you go.
A citizen of the internet. I have done that many times. I have done that with Cheyenne Bryant. I did that with my opinions on what happened with Jackie Aina the other day and all the blush. I do that all the time. That's part of what we do here on the internet. What is going on? What are people talking about? I want to break it down. And I think with me, especially because there are certain parts of my public presentation that have been a consistent narrative throughout the time I've been here, there's a lot to break down. There's a lot to talk about. I remember back in 2023, someone wrote a comment and they said, she would make a really interesting documentary. And I was like, whoop, I need to back away from the internet a little bit. And that's when I decided at the time to delete the TikTok account I had. I didn't have that many followers, maybe like 5,000 or 6,000, but I was like, take this down. I deleted my Twitter. I stopped posting on Instagram for like a year. I don't know if you remember that, but I posted in March of 2023, and then I didn't post again until October of 2023. It was quite some time. I think maybe I might have posted in the stories, but I really went like silent for a while because I was like, I need to not be so open because I might be a little too interesting and not a positive way. And I also stopped talking about some things for like a year. I didn't share anything on my YouTube channel that was about anything romantic, anything current happening in my life. I really walked a very fine line when it came to how much I let out and how much I shared. But since then,
also, it doesn't make sense to do it. Put the video back up, Steph. Here's why. You're not listening to me. Here's why. You're going to continue to drive people to my channel, because if the only place they can see the video is on my channel, you're going to send them to my channel when they could just watch it without my view. Sorry, I'm also talking to someone.
have gotten a little more comfortable, let it down, let my hair down a little bit, talked about what I want to talk about. This is my page. This is my space. I can do what I want. And on the back end of that, people can talk about what you post. On the back end of that, people can say, listen, you're putting it out there and I need to discuss it. On the back end of that, people can say, hey, I actually, excuse me, really have a problem with you. They're allowed to do that. And that's what many of you did. You did it in the comment section of my story time about New York. You went off. You did it in the comment section of the video that was done about me on another platform this past week. You went off. You brought up everything you hated about me. And I know this from hearsay. I would never actually go and participate in those conversations, because what people have to say about me and what they choose to say about me when they know I'm probably not going to be present is not my business. It's not my business. So
okay, so mind you, this don't make sense, because Steph go watch every minute of that video. She's not going to convince me anything different. And she commented multiple times under that video. So it's weird to be like, I wouldn't participate in those conversations. Like, girl, YouTubers with 2 views were making video about me, and I was sitting there eating popcorn, watching them talk. And ain't nobody got time. Like, please. So this is the thing. If you did not know what I say, and you're claiming you don't know what I said, you don't find that odd? Like, you have this visceral reaction to my content, but you don't know what I said. That's an odd thing to do. This is why, like, the engagement about like taking it down or not taking it down, it does not make sense. Because if she's claiming publicly, even if I don't believe her, that she didn't watch my content, like you couldn't have told me to take it down then, because if you told me to take it down and then I could go to your channel and you go, oh, I didn't watch it, it's like, so you told me hope we have fun and like you didn't like it or whatever. You didn't say you didn't like it. Then you were just talking. This, by the way, is what I find fundamentally flawed with her audience and the people who are coming to my channel. How are you engaging? The person directing you is telling you they didn't watch my content, and I'm getting dragged for my content that the speaker is saying she didn't see. Like, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Like, I get that you want to seem like you're above it all and period eat down, but like like, what am I supposed to do with that? If I remove my content, the people listening to her will not have any context for what I actually said. And so I will not remove my content.
Didn't actually go and see anything firsthand, but it has been told to me the things that people were adding on and the ways they were adding to the conversation. And I'm just like, oh, people really let it all hang out. Okay. All of this being said, I was left with one question, which was, Stephanie, how does it serve you to have this content on your page? Yes, you went up, you had this experience, which to you is going to mean one thing, and to the internet is going to register someone as something else. And the thing is that you know too much about the internet. You know too much about how people respond. You know too much about, like, you know too much. You sat back, you studied for years. Why would you choose to voluntarily give people more ammunition not to like you? What are you doing? And it goes back to, number one, getting a little too comfortable. Number two, thinking of this space as a space where I produce content. I want to have a variety of things on here. So I've talked about what's going on in pop culture. I've talked about reality TV. Hey, here's a story from my own life.
All right. This is the thing that I wanted to get to. Intentionally making yourself out to be a victim of me and people who respond is insane. This is weird. And this is the part that is frustrating. This is if I have bad energy in your mind, this is why. You cannot say, oh, you did not know people were going to respond to your video and it breached containment. In your video, you said multiple times that you know people were salivating at the point that they're going to respond to this. You understood that people were going to respond to your video. So before you made that video, while making that video and editing that video, you acknowledge what was going to happen. It happened, and then you're like, oh my God, I'm surprised. I cannot believe I got way too comfortable because people are responding to the video that I said people would respond to. And also they responded. I didn't watch it, but I'm mad that they responded, even though I know nothing about what they responded to because I didn't watch the video at all. But I'm removing the videos that I said people were going to respond to. They did, and now I'm removing it. Like what? You're removing it because people responded. You knew people were going to respond while you were recording it. You expected people to respond. You told people to respond to the video. People responded without watching or knowing what they said in their response to your video. You removed your video. That made sense to a lot of her audience. That made sense to a lot of her audience. Oh, they can drag all they want. It doesn't matter to me. But like that made sense.
But in everything that you post, you know, I'm not a Kardashian. I'm not making billions of dollars from doing this. So I do have to step back and say, is what you've posted worth your piece? Giving people the opportunity to add to their file about you, to add to their feelings, their negative feelings about you. Is that something that's going to serve you? How does this serve you? How does it even serve the story that you lived with this young man? It was not perfect. There were a lot of, wait, what? There were a lot of, ugh. But it's been about 30 days since the end. And when the dust starts to settle, I know just for me, you have a different perspective on things. You know, obviously I'm not like, oh, it was so romantic but I'm seeing things with just a little bit more nuance. Maybe he wasn't all bad here. Maybe this wasn't all bad there. Maybe I shouldn't have never done this.
He cheated on his girlfriend, wife, fiance with you. He was all bad. You knew he was in a relationship and slept with him. You were bad. The whole relationship was all bad. There was nothing, absolutely nothing good about that relationship. The whole thing was trash. From beginning to end, the whole thing was trash. It wasn't all bad. It was trash. It was bad. It was toxic. It was disgusting. He wanted to use you. You were desperate and wanted a relationship with him. I'm not that. By the way, I'm not changing my mind on. The whole thing was trash. There was no good parts about it. The whole thing was trash. It was trash from the beginning. He was lying and cheating. Again, what are her defenders defending? What exactly y'all defending? Because this don't make no sense. She's saying the relation, mind you, there was no relationship. Yeah, what relationship is Stefka talking about? And this is what I'm getting dragged for. Like y'all in her comments dragging me because she talking about a relationship that wasn't exist. She talking about a phantom relationship. Like I just like y'all play entirely too much. It wasn't all bad, mind you. He was cheating on his girlfriend, fiance, or wife with you. It was the relationship I had with a man in a relationship was not all bad. A man who told me he could never love me and did not help me get to him in New York. That is a quote unquote relationship, and it wasn't all bad. This is after she's reflected on the relationship. Please get out of my face. Not her. I'm talking to the comments, but also like generally. See, this is probably why I shouldn't have responded to it. I'm a private this right after this. I'm a private. It's not because I don't want her to see, because she's watching right now. She's like literally watching right now, and I know. But like, you've got mail, and it's definitely not voicemail. Please.
Maybe this didn't make no damn sense. Maybe this made a lot of sense. And when you have that shift, when you allow yourself to do that, you step back and say, did I tell the story the right way? Was I a reliable narrator? Should I have given that to the public at all when it was something I was still very much working through? The answer for me is no. No, it did not serve me to have that tail here any longer. Like I said, not only did it break containment and give somebody the not collateral, but the what they needed to host a discussion that they probably wanted to have for some time, but it also gave.
Steph, you thought I wanted to have a discussion with you for a long time. Okay, I can't. If someone just told me I can't, I cannot private this. I won't private it then. Steph, you thought I wanted to have this discussion about you for a long time. Mind you, there is someone who wanted to have this discussion about you for a long time. Someone who wanted to drag you, and I fought with them because I don't think you deserve. When you told the story the first time, I literally fought someone, not physically, on the phone because we are in the Discord and they're like, no. I said, no, why would we? There's no reason. She made a mistake. She learned from her mistake. The man said he don't want her. She packed her things, went about her business. There is actually nothing to drag. I mean, you could dissect it, but I didn't want to dissect it. I could, like, the idea that you're finally giving them something. I promise you, Amos was dragging me. I was public about it. Now, why would you put yourself out there? Now, why would you put? Now, why would you put? No, why would you put? Why would you? To be fair, you were right. To be fair, that call ended with you saying, and I remember this verbatim. I remember this verbatim. You said, give it 2 weeks. It wasn't 2 weeks, but you did say, give it 2 weeks. She's going to be right back in the man's DM and she's going to be right back online telling the same story over again. I remember you saying this. And I was like, no, the man said he don't want her. He would never love her. And even if you want to be with someone, as soon as Steve Keeler, get up here. No, no, no. Um, I said, even if you wanted to be with the man, your dignity would not allow you to continue to be chasing after a man who said they didn't want you. And Keela was like, you don't know these women. And I was like, let's bet. And she said, no, because you are wrong. And I said, girl, I'm right. There's no way someone is going to pick themselves up from the dumpster and walk themselves back in the house and beg to be in. There is not a, and I was wrong. I was wrong. So no, it's not like I finally had the ammunition. I literally was like, nah, we not going to talk about this. Stefka did what she needed to do. We all make mistakes. We fail. We get up again. Like it is what it is. Actually, so no, I did not want to have a discussion dragging you. Like that's not a thing. Whenever Steve says someone, we know it's Keela. When, 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 what do you mean? No, the metaphor I use, and this is a metaphor I implore. Okay, no advice, don't use this. But this is how I talk to myself. If you do something bad to me, this is how I see it. I see you take me up and take me to the dumpster and throw me out like I'm trash. When I imagine that, it is impossible for me to take myself out of that dumpster and come back in and ask you to let me in so you can throw me out like trash again. It's not a thing. That's not a thing. I do it for friendship, relationship, whatever. It could be the least thing. Like, oh, you just threw me out like trash. Period. Got it. Got it. You will never have to tell me twice. You ain't got to throw me in the trash twice. No, I was wrong. I was wrong. I can own when I was wrong because I was like I just could not imagine a woman being told like I can see I genuinely can see. I can see you pretending you do not know that someone does not like you. I can see it. I can see you deluding yourself enough to be with someone who is like actively engaging in ways to show you they don't like you, right? What I don't get, I would drag you for that. What I don't get is someone telling you outright, I don't love you. I will never love you. Look at the way you act. Girl, I don't want you. I don't want you. For someone to say, I don't want you, I can't love you, they've described to you enough for you to be like, okay, even if I love you, I gotta go.
People who are my subscribers the opportunity to come in and be like, and not even subscribers, the opportunity to come in and be like, I always knew you, or whatever y'all were, whatever y'all were probably saying. It also caused a problem over on my Patreon. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've already addressed things over there. So overall, it did not serve me to have that story present on any of my platforms. And so I made the decision to pull it yesterday. I also made the decision to pull the original, which was the reason why I even shared the last part, because I saw people keep watching this. Why are they watching this? And I said, well, it finished. So here's the end. Mm-mm.
So you put up a story and you're trying to figure out why people are watching it. You're trying to figure out why people are watching the story you put up and you kept up that you said was good content, that you're a good producer because you know that what good content is, but now you're confused as to why people are watching the story you thought was good. the story you decided was good content and made you a good producer for knowing it is good content. You put it out, and now you're trying to find out why people are watching that which you said was a good content, and you're a good content strategist. So when you said you were a bird, and I actually said don't say you're a bird because don't describe yourself that way. Was the expectation for people to say no, you're not? Because now it feels like the self awareness that you performed was a performance.
None of it. It doesn't serve me to have any of it on my platform. And I'm going to make this clear. I know that this is the internet, right? So people can have whatever.
Brianna, you play too much. You play too much. I had to play it because of what you wrote in them comments. By the way, if you know, I decided to not put the comments on the screen. That was intentional.
For discussions they want, they can look at, they can keep, and they can hold on to whatever they want. But as for me and my house, as for me and my platform, when I move past something, when I decide it doesn't serve me, when I decide that I really don't want to have that relationship with my audience, I reserve the right to pull whatever. I kept the first part of our little story up for a year and a half. I kept the second part up for about 6 or 7 months. And the last part lasted about a week or so. But going forward, as far as I'm concerned, on my section of the internet, there will be no evidence or discussion of that particular event in my life. That is not a relationship I want to have.
She gonna come back and I'm gonna do what Kilo and them said did. She gonna come back and do this next year. She gonna come back and do the same thing next year. It's fine. But the people in the comments like, oh my god, she did this like 1 year ago, another year. She has done this at least 2 times. I want to say 3, but she's done the same thing twice. And I know this because I watch I watch her channel. Again, I don't always agree with her, but I don't dislike her. I watch her channel.
Have with the internet. And something that was very eye-opening to me this past week was when I saw what was happening to old hot chef girl, who a year ago I had looked at her and I'd been like, wow, that's how you do it. If you want to tell a story, you better have a good one. Have a good story. That's it. You know, I mean,
she's talking about the chef girl. Was it Paris? Yeah. This lady who went to Paris found a man in an alley who was turned out to be her chef. They went on a date. She slept with him and then never moved out of his house. And she's telling people in real time while it's happening. And Steph saw that. Steph saw that and thought, this is how you do it. For me, it feels like nothing is being learned. I saw that story, mind you, and we over here, we're like, this is a problem. This not gonna go well. Everyone saw that story and we're like, here's the thing, even with Steph's story, I am here for like you going on a trip, finding someone and having like your rendezvous, your little whatever, just dip it into it, girl. But then you come home to reality. You know what I mean? Like the reason Onyeka's story could never happen to most people is because, girl, as soon as you find out he a prince, girl, you zip zoo and then you leave. When he begs you for money, it's a chop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like you don't go overseas and you're like, oh my god, is this my love? Is this my love? Is it like it's not live, pray, love, girl. Get it together. Like, go have your fun and come back to reality. Call it self-awareness defense. This, by the way, is why I do not respond to like I when I do my analysis of videos, it's usually a man. It's usually a man. Because like it's just like I think man to man, you can critique and they gonna get mad and I won't care. There is a part of me that's like really sad because I know this is not just Steph. And that kills me. The fact that this is not just Steph kills me because what that means is these men gonna run amok. These men go run amok. And the reason they go run amok is because of how easy it is to run amok. Themis, do you think it's easier to critique men? No, they lash out, they want to fight you. No. It's not easier. My critique, I know what you meant, by the way. You don't have to correct your spelling, it's fine. My critique of men sits more comfortably with me because men aren't the ones getting dragged online, right? It's more difficult because I understand on a very obvious level that I don't want to be the person that is adding to the pile of dragging Black women as a group, right? And I see people online easily dragging Black women as a group for no reason, right? And so I don't want to ever add to that. And so the question I have is when I critique one individual behavior, is that an indictment on the group generally? And can that be used as an indictment on the group generally? I think no, which is why I do it, right? But I don't want to contribute to the voices singing the same song. But to watch this video and not understand how deeply problematic it is a problem for me. To watch this video and be down in the comment section talking about she's just being vulnerable and we are all human. Okay, fine. But there are toxic decisions being made that is harmful, not just to her, but to the other woman involved. And like to people in general, like this is not something we're like, oh, only one woman has ever done this. Yeah, the man come up here want to fight me. A man came up here and said if they were in front of me, they would beat me down. And I was like, now why would you go perpetuate the stereotype now? Like,
good story to counteract the bad stories. Actually, no. The way to live your life well, if you're not a Kardashian and you're not making millions of dollars from exposing all the part, and even then, they have really scaled back over the past years over what they decide to share and what they decide to disclose to the audience. Everybody except for Chloe, that is. Boy, she's just really still sharing lots of things with us. Sorry, I'm just thinking about that interview that she just posted with Tristan a couple days ago. I can't watch it, but damn. Anyway, I'm not making millions of dollars from talking about certain things. There's vulnerability, and then there's setting yourself up to be a punching bag. And it doesn't serve me. Being a punching bag does not serve me. So, I pulled it, and I will not be discussing that particular event in my life anymore. There will be no more references to a remote lover. There will be no more references to a stress situationship. And then also,
all right. First of all, you're not a punching bag. I'm not punching at you. I'm actually hopefully talking to you in a way that you find respectful, but if you don't, I can understand. You can call it disrespectful, whatever. The thing you are learning from this is that you should not talk about that wish you are doing. Not that you should change your behavior, but it's not. Mind you, she's calling herself a punching bag while claiming to not have seen the video. So I can say at this point, I sung your praises. I talked about how great you were. I said nothing negative at all, and you would not know. How are you a punching bag in a video you don't watch? And instead of saying, you know what I did, I stand by, but I'm going to take it down. You're going to take it down because you don't want to be a quote unquote punching bag, but you are not going to adjust anything.
just in general going forward in life, I have no problem commenting on the state of what women are going through, how hard it is to, have lived a certain experience as a woman, and whether you can relate or not, or whether you approve or not, whether you would be friends with a certain type of woman or not.
Okay, so you watch it. She watched, because I literally said, I don't know that I could be friends with a certain kind of woman. Because I feel like we would just be crying all the time. But even if we are friends, I would probably not go out in specific scenarios, because if you're only going out to get men's attention, then that's going to be a problem, because when you don't get these men going to disappoint you every single time, right? So I don't know if I could be friends with certain kinds of people, right? I didn't just say women, but like women in particular, right? You did not watch my video, but you're responding to it. You didn't watch my video, but you're responding to it. When I say people are unreliable narrator, this is kind of what I mean. Because you're just straight up lying to everyone's face now. And the way she says it is intentional. Mind you, she meant for me to respond to this video. So here we are. Listen to this. Look at what happens to her face when she says this.
To have lived a certain experience as a woman, and whether you can relate or not, or whether you approve or not, whether you would be friends with a certain type of woman or not.
That is a quote. She's quoting me back to me. How you gonna make a quote to a video you ain't watch? Steph girl, how you gonna make a quote to a video you ain't watch?
We're still out here. We still exist. We're still battling whatever feelings. We're still dealing with our own personal realities. And so I have no problem like talking about that. But as far as providing real personal details of things that happen in my life and in my experience with regards to that part of my life, I have gone ahead and hit my limit. There was a time, for a short amount of time, I was like, maybe I can talk. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Because for the simple fact that if a story doesn't wrap up the right way, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. So I wanted to address the fact that I did.
Mind you, again, need to point this out. It is not that people want your stories to wrap up the right way. It's that people want you, even as messy as the stories are and can be, for you to learn something from those stories. Have you ever watched a TV show where they just rinse and repeat the storyline and how redundant it becomes after a while? That's the problem. That's the problem here. The man told you he don't want you, could never love you. You said, I'm done. I'm not going to do this again. And then you went right back and the same thing happened. I mean, I guess much worse. Because you thought you were going to not be single. So I guess, I don't know, girl.
Decided to pull it. I wanted to address the reaction that
I think she's too self-pitying, and her self-esteem would not allow her to watch your video. She cares a lot about how others see her. Yeah, no, she watched the video. Hey, by the way, did you change your name from Cantor on? You've been a member for 56 months. I appreciate that. No, she watched she watched every bit of that video. Every single second of that video was watched. Every single second. I'm gonna give you a hug for 56 months. So, but every single second of that video was watched. She watched every second of that video. Not a minute was skipped. Even in the beginning where I was rambling.
Got from a different place. I think in my Two Girls, One Hot Chef video, I was still kind of confused about the response. I posted that before I knew that the story had broken containment and people had taken the discussion elsewhere. And so, I was still, I was in one place with it for sure. And then due to some interactions in my comment section, I was able to see how really disgusted and disappointed the viewers were. It wasn't one of my stories that I posted and people have actually enjoyed. I don't think a single...
Steph went off on her Patreon and told them there was nothing for her to learn about her trip to New York. I know it's New York, you meant. Period. 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 I'm going to rename this. No, I'm not going to do that. I was going to name this Broke Containment, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You play entirely too much murder magic trick. Ain't nobody putting that on the screen. I'm not putting that on the screen. You play entirely too much.
Person actually enjoyed it, but I initially was just kind of, I know I was in a different place, and now I'm like, it had to go. So I did. I took it down from my channel. I wrote a little notes post about it, but I said, no, let me speak to the audience. We actually...
Stefka, you want to be friends? Because I don't think you have good friends. I don't think you have good friends. Mind you, it's not your. To be fair, your ideas around friendships are really toxic. Never mind. But my offer still stand. I will send you things for the rest of this year. At least try to sell it a little better. We all know how you speak, and it's not giving what she thinks it's giving. No, she does. Like all my friends will drag me for filth. Like they will drag me for filth in love. They will drag. Thank you, by the way, Barbie. You've been a member for 20 months. Hugs.
Say something because what my point that I was trying to make a couple seconds ago was I never planned on engaging with you all about it. It was just kind of like I posted it and go. But what I've learned this week from a lot of creators, and just in the month of April, period, or May, period, May was wild on the internet for creators. But what I've learned is you do have to have a certain amount of blind allegiance to like your purpose and what you're doing. But your audience they are watching you. They are trying to engage. They are trying to, how do you
getting chicken nuggets thrown at me left, right, and center. Getting chicken nuggets. So apparently there are people who are mad at me because of my jealous video. And the ideas of friendship, it ain't gonna change. It's not gonna change. My opinion around friendship's not gonna change. And you all are toxic who wants to use and abuse your friends. I think y'all are toxic. If you just want to use your friend and they're nothing but ... you are probably not a good person to have friends.
you want us to receive this? What do you want us to do? And you can't always just dump and go. At a certain time, you're going to have to live in the shadow of the things that you put out in the world, which is something I've said before. And it might not be a shadow you're comfortable living in. And so I was forced to face like how people really felt. No one was happy. No one was enjoying it. And just to look at things and come at things a little differently. And
that's also the thing. Did you think people would enjoy you being hurt and hurting yourself in this specific way? Do you think people would hear you getting dog walked in New York and think, oh my God, that's funny, ha ha ha, or like, oh, that's enjoyment, this feels good, this is good? Like, you thought we would enjoy hearing a story about how a man mistreated you and how you mistreated yourself and about cheating, like you allowing a man to cheat with you? Like, you thought that would be like enjoyment, period? Like that's what you thought? Like that don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You thought what you were providing was entertainment for our enjoyment? If your audience enjoyed you being mistreated, you disrespecting yourself in this way, those are not people who like you. Your audience cannot sit there and enjoy you being harmed and you harming yourself. That's not a thing. That was people who care about you are not going to enjoy you being harmed. Yeah, she thought you would enjoy it because she saw nothing wrong with her behavior.
And at that moment, I decided I don't want that story on my channel. I don't want to have that relationship with you as far as divulging or talking about certain things in my life, especially as I get older. And I can't stress this enough. I have proven on this channel that I actually don't.
Steph told her Patreon she was deeply offended by them telling her that the romance was one-sided and that he never wanted her. She said it was real and we didn't know him. You know what? Juliana, I'm just going to go ahead and say I don't believe you. Because if I believe you, it's going to trigger another tangent that's going to be an hour long. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this did not happen. I'm just going to go into the spoil where this did not happen. So the man who told her, I can never love you. I ain't going to help you. I'm not going to give you money. I'm not going to help you in any way. at all. Also, I'm going to ignore all your call. I'm only going to email you when you show up here. You're going to go around, take yourself around, and I'm only going to come over in at midnight. She thought there was reciprocity there. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that didn't happen. I'm not on her Patreon, so I'm just going to go ahead and say that's not true. She would not respond to her audience that way, specifically her audience paying her to hear her talk on her Patreon. Her last video, I believe she has friends, not just the ones she wants versus the ones she needs. Yeah. Hey, Monique. I need to text you, by the way, and we need to talk, but not separately. But hey, low self esteem will get you ever. The thing is, I do know people who have low self esteem. Well, maybe they don't, but they tell me they have low self esteem, and they make parameters and barriers around how they engage to prevent themselves from being like doormats. But I actually agree. I fully agree with this. Because if you don't have those guardrails in place and you have low self esteem, girl, it's going to always be a mess. Yeah.
Need that type of content for the channel to be lucrative and for the channel to make a little bit of money. I really don't. I don't need to give people material and momentum, that's the word, to continue to say, oh, she's a problem. That one's a problem. I don't need to do that. We've already established that in the internet space. I don't need to give you more. And I don't plan on it. I really don't. With the hot chef girl, I think I brought this up earlier, but my brain's a little all over the place right now. But I thought with the hot chef girl that her issue was I said she's better than me because she has a good story. All I need is a good story. Regardless, I feel like the ins and outs of your romantic life should not be shared. I'd already just.
She's better than me because she has a good story. If y'all don't remember the hot chef story, the hot chef story is this white lady went to France, saw a man in an alleyway smoking cigarette, and went into the restaurant, found out the guy is the chef in the restaurant. They were giving each other eyes, but the guy never approached her, didn't do anything. This lady walked herself into the kitchen to give this man her number. Now, here's the thing. If that man wanted to give you his number, he would have been giving you his number. Anyway, they went on a date the next day, slept over, and they've been together ever since. But the toxic part of this is she keeps telling people and updating people on threads about what is happening with her and the hot chef. Mind you, spoiler, the chef is not hot. The chef looked like a butch lesbian, but that's neither here nor there. And so I am, mind you, they're very good looking butch lesbian, but that's not the point. The hot chef cheated on her. She's still in the hot chef house that is being cheated on. She writes stories and she real toxic in these stories, girl. And she claims she's like bisexual, just didn't be with a woman. Anyway, everyone is pointing out how fast she's moving and how weird the story is. But there are people who are like, oh my God, this is such a dream. This sounds like a storybook. Mind you, she writes fantasy. So we don't know if any of this is real. And now she comes out talking about y'all need to leave her alone because her man cheated on her and y'all don't know what she's going through. And if you want to hear, come to her Patreon. Come to her Patreon, and apparently a lot of people signing up for her Patreon for her to tell the story. And she was giving like advice for how to be in a relationship. So we all knew this was going to be trash, but for some reason, it seems like Stefko heard the story and thought that should have been me. Stefko heard a story about picking a chef man in an alley up and thought that should have been me. She said monetizing misery. I mean, what else you gonna do with it? But at least that white lady is making as much money as she can out of that hot chef story. Steph go out here deleting videos when she could. I don't know what Steph could do. Someone said Steph could get all of on those dating apps and make a series of her dating, and that would slap. Not that would eat.
Decided not to share the ins and outs of my friendship life, my current friendships. I was like, don't talk about that. I already decided don't share the ins and outs of your family life. Don't talk about that unless it's positive. But now I'm also saying, okay, so it was okay for us to share, oh, this man disappointed me for a little while, but now we're not doing that anymore. And if you ever plan on having,
Ain't no way. You know what? I have to lean more into my feminism, girls. If you want to go after the man, go after the man. I don't know. If the man, I don't know. Don't listen to me about any relationship, anything.
actual, like, intimate, real relationships with people, they need to feel like they're having relationships with a safe person. They need to be safe people, 100%, but they need to also be having a relationship with a safe person. And a safe person is not a person who will come to the internet and be like, some bullshit went down. Like to hear it, here goes, and do an hour-long retelling of whatever drama y'all lived. I mentioned many times in
So now she's saying she's not safe because she's retelling the story of a degenerate, dusty, useless, weak and nothing, a bee of a man who is cheating on his girlfriend with her. So you thought you needed to be a safe person being a side chick. You needed to be a safe side chick for a man unwilling to buy you a ticket, give you a hotel room, even text you back. You needed to be a safe side chick. Stefko has not learned anything at all. I actually, when I was watching this yesterday, I was like, okay, she's dragging me. She don't like me. She don't like my engagement. But at least it penetrated because she removed the videos, even though I didn't want her to remove the video. And there might have been some reflecting going on, right? But ain't no she she's not safe because of YouTube, but she's not the problem. Mind you, she's been not safe. She's been throwing chicken nuggets and competing and jealous of her friends. So, like, let's be very clear. But it is strange to me. By the way, I did not know this is how this video was going to go, but I just realized that ain't no reason for me to like. It is weird. It is weird to be like I should have been more safe for him. I need to be a safe space and not tell his business while the least you could do is drag him publicly after all of that. The least you could do is drag him publicly. That is the least you could do. That man done played in your face. Like that man just played in your face. The thing is, the one thing you should not feel bad. So okay, here's how terrible this is. So you can sit up there and drag me. You can drag the chat. You can have problem with people commenting. To be fair, Steph did not drag me. That didn't happen. So let me be precise. You can have problem with all them people, and you don't have the same kind of smoke for the man who actually dragged you through it. You're like, oh, it wasn't that bad. He's cheating, mind you. He is cheating on his girlfriend, fiance slash wife, and he's cheating on her with you. He told you he could never love you. He won't give you any money to come up there. He will not give you any money to for your stay. He will not see you. He won't even text you back. And you say, "Oh, that is fine. We both had our issues. we both had our issues. Mind you, he's the one. He's the one. Whatever. First, second, the whole cheating situation, but you want to be a safe space for him. Upon reflection, the conclusion you came to was that the issue that you need to be a safe space for a man who cheated on his girlfriend, told you he wouldn't love you, could never love you, would not help you to get to him, used you, and then disappeared. And you need to be a safe space for him. You shouldn't tell the story. Yeah, girl, it's a chop for me. It's a chop. She can do whatever she wants. She can respond. It's the chop. It's the chop. Y'all can be mad at me all you want. It's the chop. She wrong. This is a problem. It is all a problem. You have all the smoke for everyone else except the man who dragged you through hell. All that smoke for everyone else except the man who dragged you through hell. Mind you, a friend of mine told a story about how she was just acting up when she was younger. And we sat there and we laughed at the fact that she was just like, girl, you, but I couldn't say anything because she already highlighted all the problems. She grew from it and she's like, girl, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I did that. Ha ha ha. Would never. I don't even know that girl. If I saw that girl when she did what she did, if I saw her, I don't know who she is. It's a chop. So like that's the guy like you would expect because she called herself a bird, so you would expect that. Oh, that's where she. No, 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 no. She said she's a bird, but in calling yourself a bird, you're highlighting the dumb stuff you did for a man who didn't deserve it. But now you are saying you should have been a safe space for that same man. So was the calling yourself a bird again? Was that just a performance? Like obviously it was a joke from your perspective, but it was a joke that was highlighting a self-awareness of how you engaged in behavior you probably shouldn't have engaged in. But now you're saying I should have been a safe space, kind of deletes all of the self-awareness. You should have been a safe space for cheating, man. It's insane to me. Yeah, that's insane to me. No.
That story and in the hot chef story, that was a jolting realization that I had with that young man whenever we met face to face. And the jolting realization was, ooh, he may have done ABCD, but I'm actually the bigger villain here because what the hell am I even doing? Yikes. So I think just in the future, for the good of my life, when it comes to advancements.
See, here's the thing. Let's weigh it. You are not the. I hate I'm doing this. Steph, girl, you are not the bigger villain. You were wrong. You were desperate and you were delusional. But the bigger villain, you are not. He is the bigger villain. He is. He is the one in a relationship cheating on the woman he's with. He's literally the one in the relationship cheating on the one he's with. You are not the bigger villain. He is. Like you're learning the wrong. You're literally learning the wrong lessons. I am the bigger villain. I should have been a safe space. No, 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 girl. You should be dragging him for.
That may happen or not happen in my personal life, those I will not share those. And if anything positive does ever happen, I will just say, oh, there's been someone in my life this year and that's been going positively. And that'll be it. That'll be it. So again, I wanted to address this because it escalated this week and I didn't expect it to. For the last few years, I've just been posting about this situation and it's been whatever. But this week, the comment section went crazy over here on YouTube. It broke containment and gave birth to another conversation that people had, I guess, been dying to have about me for a while. And that also proved a lot of things that I've said about my experience online and how I'm perceived and what people like and what they don't like. And there's nothing new when it comes to all of this. There's nothing new under the sun. I saw it coming from a mile away and I still rode right into the situation. I even had a warning, I feel, from the algorithm. There is a
No, you didn't have a warning. You literally announced it in your video. Like I don't know how you're surprised when you literally announced the thing that happened that it was going to happen. This break containment thing is like actually kind of irking me now.
creator named I Am Aloho, and she recently posted about the fact that she's getting a divorce. And I would say over the past 4 years, I remember her posting.
Blah blah blah. I was actually going to respond to one of the I Am Aloho videos, and I might still because the kind of reflection I Am Aloho is doing, I actually admire deeply. Like I truly admire because when there's a video she did about financial abuse, and she's like, "Girl, yeah, I know it was a problem. I just didn't want to leave. Like I wanted to keep my marriage. So yes, I know it was dumb. Like I shouldn't have done that." The reason I haven't addressed Aloho is because there's nothing I can add to it. She got the divorce and she is being very, very vulnerable in the way she explains what happened to her, but she's also reflecting and showing growth. There is nothing for me to add at all. And for the people who are dragging her, to be fair, I only hear people co-signing what she said. I heard one woman say, "Well, you should have done this," and I was like, "Girl, please, you should. You can do. You can bend all you want. These men gonna do what these men gonna do. So you can go do everything you're telling her she should have done. But I promise you that wasn't about to save that marriage, right? But anyway, I appreciate how honest she is. There's a lot of people who would have come back online and continue to make content and do business as usual because you don't and we do not have a right to these content creators' personal life. She realized there's an issue around how women are treated in marriages, how financial abuse takes place, and even when you think you have your own, how men can still come in and take up a lot of space in your life, and what it's like to have a child in a marriage and still feel like you are a single mother, essentially. And then going through a divorce. I think that is, let me be very clear. I think what I Am Iloho is doing is peak content, and it's very, very, very useful, particularly for people who want to get married. Not to scare them from marriage, but to listen to someone who's been through it, telling you what they went through and helping you through it, and watching someone grow. Now, whatever happens to her in the end happens to her. But as of now, I love what I'm seeing. Now, let's see how it was a warning to Steph Go.
I manifested my husband. And then I remember her not being on camera for a really long time. And I think it was because she got pregnant, she had a baby, et cetera, et cetera. So she took some time and she wasn't on camera. And then she popped up recently and she said, I'm getting a divorce. And then she made another video and she said, going back and looking at my I manifested my husband video, it's so cringy because there were so many red flags. And I was like, I like this. As a content creator, I like this. I like reporting live from the scene of the devastation. And then I also like coming back and being like, damn, I walked right into that. Here are the mistakes I made. And I know also the audience is going to like that. Because I've said many times before, people a lot of times only have so much space for you to say, this is what happened to me. They really, really want to know that yeah, but this was your fault. They really want to know that. They need to know that you know that, especially if you're a woman, especially if you're a Black woman. So that being said,
no, because they were dragging the lady that fell in love with her psychiatrist too. The thing is, people do not like the part that is supposed to be your accountability being shoved off somewhere else, and that's what you do. What you're doing right now is, instead of saying, "Oh, I was vulnerable," point out the fact that, you know what, maybe this wasn't right. Right? Because even when, listen to this, I'm going to repeat this. I did it in the beginning. Instead of saying, I found out he had a wife, girlfriend, whatever, and so I decided not to sleep with him. Right? That would have read differently than, I found out he had a wife, girlfriend slash fiance. I slept with him. That is bad, but at least you are acknowledging what you did and then point out that you were wrong, right? And you won't do it again. What Steph did was say, I found out he had a wife, girlfriend slash fiance, but they're in a non-monogamous relationship, an ethical non-monogamous relationship, and that's why I slept with him. Girl, please get out of my face. Please get out of my face. Did you find out he was in an ethical non-monogamous relationship before or after he lied to you about having a relationship at all? Please. You and your people are kind of toxic, actually. That's actually kind of toxic.
When she made that video, I was like, I think she's got all her bases covered. She told her story and then she came back and talked about her red flags. But no, her video breached containment, which means her account of what she told and her being the authority on her story, that was taken away from her because somebody else came behind and they were like, a therapist reacts to all her red flags, etc. And I felt a type of way about this as a storyteller, as a person who wants to have the final say and the authority on my story and is pissed when someone is like, I need to react to this and I need to talk about her. I was like, ooh, I would hate that if I was her. I already said, I know the red flags. I already said, what makes you think you need to come behind? But as a content creator, I understand that that's how things go. You put something out, people are looking, how can I react to this? How can I respond to this? And if I do it as a person with no industry
even this weird thing where she's like explaining why people are reacting and breaching containment, she's making this seem as if like this is not what people do, and she has to explain any of this. Like you don't. You know that people are going to respond to your video. You knew it when you made the video. People responded, I am people. And now you're like explaining, yeah, I should have known. Oh my God, I'm so sad. I'm so, guys, protect me, please, because I don't know why anyone is reacting to my video when you literally gave us every indication that we should react to your video. Like you paused your video in editing to come in and do a voiceover telling us that you're giving us enough information for when we respond to your video that we have the full picture. You did that in the editing room of your video, and now you're confused about it breaking containment. You're playing in all our faces at this point, and I'm actually now annoyed. Funny enough, you want to know, I turned on this camera. I'm glad I removed my outline because my outline was about compassion and being aware that while I might not understand and agree or even believe that this is her reality, and maybe there should be space enough for her to exist in her reality without anyone dissecting it in any meaningful way. Because, nah, it's a chop. It's a chop. Mind you, there's someone that I spoke to before I came on. I will go ahead and blame the person I spoke to before I came. I'm not. I'm not. I take full responsibility for what I'm doing here. Completely. I take full responsibility for what I'm doing here.
Like licenses, no like professional accolades to stand on. Why would somebody who does have that, why would they not do it? Especially with how popular psychology and therapy is nowadays. Like I said,
no, she ain't had no compassion for that biracial. She ain't got no compassion for that biracial that man was cheating on.
In my video about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, I totally get why she lied about her certifications and her licensure because of how much it can move you forward as far as being respected in a space. And I've seen it. There's a channel called Psychology in Seattle or Seattle Psychology, something like that. And whenever something happens on these reality shows, Love is Blind, Love Island, whatever, he gets thousands of views breaking down from a psychological standpoint what's going on, who people are, why they're performing the way they're performing. And I think it's because, well, anyway, we're in a time right now where people are huge fans. They want to hear. We went from a time where people really stigmatized therapy and stigmatized psychology to a time where everybody wants to know what's going on, break this down psychologically. Let's get in this person's brain. Hey, by the way, what's wrong with me? I'm autistic. I have ADHD. I have this. Like, we want to label others and we want to label ourselves. And we love somebody who has the supposed professional license and professional viewpoint to come in and dive in and to dig into a situation. So from a storyteller standpoint, from a human standpoint, I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that. But then from a creator standpoint, I was like, I totally understand. I totally understand why someone would come in and be like, yeah, I know she saw the red flags, but
wait, sorry, I didn't pick this up. I have a question because I actually, it's not that I disagree. I have a different view than this. If I came out and I'm telling a story and a licensed professional decided to break my story down, there I'm of two minds where you don't know me and I don't know how useful this is. But the more that is dwarfed by wanting to hear someone who might have an expertise in this area explain it to me. So I would actually like to hear a therapist, a psychologist, not Dr. Bryant, tell me about what they think about what I've said and the story that I told. I would. I would. Now I'm gonna drag you if I don't like it. It is what it is, but I would like to hear it.
As a therapist, here's how I would have seen it. I don't like that because it takes the authority away from Eloho. It's like, oh, is her summary not good enough? But I do understand it. I do understand it.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be good enough. Like you can tell your story, but without the language to explain what you're doing, without the expertise to engage in the deep psychological work. No, it's not that it's not good enough. Your story is good enough, but it might not be as deep and useful to the public at large as a psychologist who is trained in this area would be. No, they're providing a useful benefit. hopefully, like, analytical reasoning is reaching a lot of people and they're like learning to think more critically by watching me. But if not, it's also fine. But that's hopefully what I'm providing, not psychological breakdowns, but analytical reasoning and some self-esteem. I'm joking. I'm joking on the self-esteem bit.
And I also took it as a warning. I said, ooh, Stephanie, what if you post your story and somebody pops up with a therapist reacts? What are you going to do? And I remember thinking, I just don't think it'll make that big of a deal. When's the last time one of my videos got a reaction? It's been years. I don't think that'll happen. And while a therapist didn't react, somebody definitely decided that they needed to, right? I also want to say that to that person that decided to do whatever, thank you for that thumbnail. You made me look like the most hopeful, beautiful little idiot. You had to go through and find the most gorgeous freeze frame of my face. I went initially over to the channel to tear your ass up in them comments. And then I said, wait a minute. They have a right to have this conversation. You may not like it. You may not like what they said about you, but this is your fault. You press record. You put it online. So back up. Secondly, you look good as hell in this thumbnail.
You're welcome. You are welcome. And I did do what you said I did. I did go through and I didn't have to search hard because almost all your frames were good. I don't know why you're pretending they weren't. Yeah, I did. And in truth, I did not know what the video was going to be about. I literally went, find a good picture of you that I liked, a picture of you I liked, and I used the picture of you that I like on my thumbnail because it wasn't supposed to be messy. And then I started watching your video. And then I was watching your video. And then I didn't agree with some of what you did. But I didn't drag you. I didn't disrespect you. You called yourself a bird. I didn't.
So I want to thank you for that, because for me, even though, again, people have communicated that the conversation wasn't great and that
no, people haven't come. You watched the video, Steph. It's okay. At this point, like 16,000 people watched the video. You watched the video. Like, you can say you watched the video. I watched the video like 3 times. It was a good video, actually. 17,000 now. And the only reason it's going up is because you have this video up. So
there's a lot of people who heavily dislike the things I put out, me in general, etc., which I already knew. But the presentation of the thumbnail, I've been on many a thumbnail in my time on the internet because I used to create content that people wanted to talk about all the time, and how they presented me and how they presented what they were saying. And the way that they presented me on the little thumbnail, to me, spoke to how they were going to present what they were saying. I've been depicted.
Yes, I did not want to add your face to the faces of Black women who are being disrespected online. Yeah.
Seen very ugly things. And so the fact that that creator took the time to go through and find a screenshot where I looked gorgeous and put that on the thumbnail. And, you know, I, without knowing the context of the conversation, I sort of fell in love with the idea of the presentation. You know, again, afterwards, people came to me and said, hey, they were tearing your ass up in there. But initially I was like, I don't know. Thank you for presenting me the way that you did, at least on the thumbnail. I just felt like I should say that, but that's the last thing she'll get from me. Anyway,
why? You could thank me for being honest, thank me for caring, thank me for trying. There's a lot of reasons you could thank me. And you're welcome for all of it, not just a thumbnail.
I decided to pull the video. I will no longer be speaking about my romantic life. That was a final nail in the coffin for me. I didn't talk about it for a while on YouTube. And then I was like, well, they seem to be responding okay. Maybe I'll talk about this. Maybe this. I got comfortable. I wanted to share more. And then when the situation ended, I was like, well.
Yeah, it's just like she has to be a like, girl, please. Tima, she did not watch the video. She didn't need much convincing that you're a bully. Watching it may reveal you aren't her enemy, which would destroy her delusion that the world is against her. She's watching right now. My offer still stands, and you could give me a PO box so I can send you stuff randomly all week. Not all week, but all year, each month. And your people said you would never talk to me because if you want to talk to me live, I am here and we can talk. You probably will be uncomfortable, but I will not be disrespectful.
People keep asking me about him, so we'll just be honest. This is how it ended. I expected the response, but I also didn't expect the response, but I kind of knew everything was always possible. And then I asked myself the $1 million question: how does any of this serve you, Stephanie? Does it serve you? Did it give you more subscribers? No. People actually unsubscribed after I posted my New York story. Did it make you a lot of money? Well, no, it wasn't getting a lot of views. And so it made me an okay little amount, but
mind you, she said in the beginning, she said her video kept getting all this view. There's always these people coming to watch, and she's trying to figure out how why they are watching, and she's a content genius, and she knew it would do well, and it was in fact doing well because she's a content expert. See Kardashian and how the Kardashian do their content, and she was killing the game. Oh, but now it was costing her I'm not going to go on Social Blade because I feel like if I go on Social Blade, her subscribers did not, in fact, go down. But I'm not going to do it because it's not that serious. But I'm pretty sure if I went on Social Blade, her subscribers went up and not down.
No, it's passable money. I could have made another video and made the same amount. Did it earn you the respect? And
mind you, it could have gotten more. She limited the comments. She made the video. The video is like doing well in the algorithm, and then she limited the comments. The reason I know she limited the comments is I went there to like read some comments, and I realized if I wanted to, I wasn't going to. But if I wanted to comment, I wouldn't be able to comment because she limited the comments. So you're saying it didn't do well after you intentionally engage with your own video in a way to prevent it from doing well in the algorithm. Like the reason it didn't do well is because you limited the
praise from your peers because you're being vulnerable about. No, actually, they think I'm a dumb bitch, and they think I'm such a dumb bitch that they go off in my comments, and then they need to have a whole other town hall.
Ain't nobody call you all that, girl. You literally call yourself a bird. You call yourself a bird in your like. I don't understand why you mad. People think you're dumb. Mind you, I ain't saying. But like, why are you mad? Anyone think you're dumb when you call yourself a bird in your again? Were you self-aware or were you just performing self-awareness? Like, why would you call yourself a bird in your title of your video and then be upset or surprised that people think like you are acting less than smart? Like, you literally call yourself a bird in your like, ain't nobody called you none of that, girl. I don't
I'm a dumb bitch, and they think I'm such a dumb bitch that they go off in my comments, and then they need to have a whole other town hall to talk about how stupid I am. So no, it didn't do that.
I did not go off in her comments. I wrote nothing in her comments. I wrote she's pretending like this has been picked up by CNN and BBC, and it's just this little channel, like one small channel that discussed it, and here we are, like a channel that is so like there is no reach. Well, I mean, she saw it, so there was reach enough. Abba saw it, there was. I mean, I guess people saw it, but like, girl, please.
What did it serve you? What did it serve you? It didn't. So I took it down. And I took down anything else remaining or anything else pertaining to it. And I did want to actually like address that because, like I said, it escalated a little bit this week. The story breached containment. I had a lot of new eyes, not only on my channel over here, but I also had new eyes over on my TikTok. And not that people like subscribed because I purposefully make my TikTok dry as a fucking bone. I don't post anything over there, but TikTok will tell you, you have so many viewers to your profile. You have so many viewers. And every day it was like at least 1,000 viewers. No, that's not true. At least 100. At least 100 people found my TikTok profile, looked through things, you know, what she got going on over here. And then to old hot chef girl's point, it showed up in my Patreon. I had some more Patreon viewers in the month of May. And while I know that all that does is give people more ammunition and more fuel to say, God, she's stupid, for my wallet, wasn't a bad thing.
Okay, so step your game up then, girl. Do what you need to do. I don't understand. I don't understand. Maybe someone said Themis is smart, but his blind spot is that what was it? That he just has this like easy dating life. And I'm like, easy dating life, girl. The way I'm not even really dating, well, now I'm talking to someone, but like the way I am I play too much. Me putting out there that I'm talking to someone is insane work. Don't worry, by next week it'll be a wrap.
Isn't a bad thing at all. But it's not a chapter of my life I ever need to repeat again. It's not a place that I ever want to occupy again with you all here on the internet. And for the rest of my time as a netizen, as an online creator, I'm going to stick to what I know. I'm going to stick to what I have been taught is most likely to happen in every situation, every time, something like this goes down. I'm going to stick to how I know people respond to specific conversations. And I'm going to stick to what I know can happen when something escalates and breaks containment. And I'm going to always operate, not necessarily from the viewpoint of, hey, I'm a content producer here. What do people want to see? What's exciting? What's dramatic? Get them in here, get them entertained. But
girl, if I ever date someone who knows about my channel, like it's not a thing. You gonna find out about my channel a year after we're dating. It's gonna be, one of them serious conversation. You sit someone that it's gonna be a year, like, you're not gonna know before that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Set me up, recording me, have me out here being livid. Is it being livid or being avid? Have you idea being livid or avid, girl? Ain't nobody got time for them. So let me story time. The time theme has left me on a day. Girl, I would die if someone that I actually dated came live and was like, so I'm gonna make a 2-part, 3-part, even a what? I'm gonna make a 3-part story about my time with the. I would die. I would literally die. And girl, I don't know how these people do it to voluntarily come out here. Like I ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for none of that. Ain't nobody got. Ain't nobody have time for that. None of that. Breached containment is what we say when a virus escaped the lab.
from the purpose of, or from the viewpoint of, how does it serve me? Yes, they'll be interested. Some may be entertained. Yes, it gives meat and potatoes to other creators who want to comment and want to provide things for their channels. But how does it serve me overall? And if the answer is, it truly doesn't, then I won't post it. And if in this situation, or if like in this situation, I've posted something that I realize doesn't serve me, I will pull it down. So that's what I did. So if you go looking for it, it's not here in my space. As for me in my house, no more New York. That's how it goes.
I already brought a Dusty on the chat. No, that ain't right. That ain't right. yo, tell me why. Tell me why. No, you know what? I'm not. Right, several Dusties. So no, I I ain't gonna go there. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this because I ain't gonna get dragged. I ain't over it yet. I'm not hiding you. I'm hi- I, I'm not hiding you from the world. I'm hiding the world from you. Wait, what did Drake say? Whatever Drake said. Whatever Drake said is what I'm saying to y'all. Whatever, whatever, whatever Drake said about his son is what I'm saying. Yeah, people have to. They have to elevate high enough to meet y'all. We can't have just any raggedy person come meet y'all. They have to be good enough. Don't even bring a tumbleweed either, Themis. Because the last person I ever spoke to, they came on this channel and y'all dragged them for filth. Y'all didn't know they were. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This is not true. This is not a true. Do not go back to my content. No, for real. A last person like my friends. Yeah, I'll drag all my friends. What's my friend who was married's name again? It's a fake name. So I forgot the name. What is my friend with the fake name? Y'all dragged him. What is my friend that was married that came on a man spanner that y'all dragged? No, it wasn't Eric. There was a name. Girl, please. Penelope, you're getting blocked. Anyway, all right. I can't remember the name we gave him, but I brought my friend on here. He was married. I didn't even know that man was. He was. I didn't. I knew he was red. No, he's not red pill. That's wrong. But I knew Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. Y'all dragged Kyle for filth. I was like, that man. That man was arguing with me for a month after that. A month. And y'all tried to drag my friend Vanessa too. Anyway, let's go into the after show. Yeah, no, Kyle was married with his daughter. Yeah, yeah. A good family man, and y'all dragged him for filth. Kyle need to check in. Yeah, he still sends me stuff, and he's afraid now though. He afraid of y'all. He won't say that, but he afraid. I'll invite him on so we can debate again. All right, back to Steph. So now that you've come to the end of this, Steph, here's some things. Wait, y'all like Money? I remember y'all dragging Money because y'all said Money was a blackmail worshiper. Y'all said Money was a blackmail. yeah, yeah, y'all said, yeah, y'all said Money was a blackmail worshiper. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna laugh with y'all. Y'all not gonna be dragging my friends out in these streets. Um. So here's the thing, Steph. Couple of things. First, I like your story times. Let me be very clear. I like your story times. The reason I like your story times is I don't see this in my real life. So from your perspective, life is lifing, whatever. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I don't understand at all why it is that you would think we're dragging you when you didn't watch the video. And two, three, we're at the third thing. I go hold you. I feel like you should continue to tell your story times because it feels like you wanted, and you said outright that you wanted to be like Risa Tisa. And actually, you're better than Risa Tisa. And you didn't understand how Risa Tisa got there and you didn't. And so you were howling seeing her on the red carpet. I think you have the opportunity to be on a red carpet and to eat the girls up, and we know you want to eat the girls up, but you're gonna have to do it with your story time. So I would suggest you put them story times back up and tell more stories and actually go on dates. But I think the girls would like to see you elevate. And I am sad that you thought this was like the first video was mean because I was not trying to be mean to you. But I do wish you the best. I'm sorry your thing broke containment. I didn't know it was being contained like a virus in a laboratory, but I team is naming names just broke containment. No, 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 no. I I am so good with my past now and my friendship, so I'm good. And I've decided to not bring my friends on here because one of the things, the hardest thing for me and my friends being on here is not them getting dragged. Because I get dragged on here often and I don't care. But they do really get like upset about it and they try to pretend that they're not upset. But I have to hear it for months and months and months and months of them calling, trying to justify what they said, what they didn't say, what they mean, sending me content, sending me documentaries, sending me research papers. And I'm like, girl, if every day you're going to send me something new about this conversation, seems like you're not over it. And I don't have the heart to say, please stop texting me because I exposed them to you all. You all drag them, and now I have to deal with the emotional reverberating that is happening. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time to be dealing with grown men going through their emotional stress because y'all decided to drag them. So that's that on that. Um, Demons need to have another men's panel stat. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This man came up, married and all. Y'all said we need to get rid of him because he was boring. And I'm sitting here like, y'all say your complaint about this man is that he's boring and that he has nothing to say. And I'm trying to figure out why, how is the argument? Mind you, he's a terrible person. I found out later he was a terrible person. But y'all's critique of that man was that he was boring and useless. I probably should have listened to you, and by boring, I should have said, oh, he probably a bad person. But I found out much, much later that he was a bad person. But y'all clocked him being boring. Anywho, I'm gonna tell Kilo who I'm talking after this stream. I definitely remember Kyle as the guy who hesitated on the abortion question. Really? I need to go ask him about that. I thought Kyle was very pro abortion. I'd be dragging my friends who, even if you're a man in my life talking about you're against abortion, you're getting dragged every day, every single day. And thank you to my Discord for dragging me yesterday and for arguing with me all day yesterday while I was at someone else's wedding. I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, I ain't got nothing more to say. Um, I wish you the best, Steph. Someone said I was using your videos, so I may or may not be watching more of them, but we'll see. All right. Love you all. Have a good night. I guess it's the daytime. I'm gonna go watch Obsess. Y'all go watch Obsess because at some time during the week, Kilo and I will be reviewing Obsess, and it would be good if you all have watched it. So I'm gonna go to the theaters. I'm not gonna clean my house anymore. I'm just gonna go to the theaters, watch it, and then we're gonna have a random live stream. No, Theme Skin, we have another ranking live. We cannot. That live stream was my biggest mistake. It is the thing that I regret the most doing on YouTube. It was mean. It was mean and it was wrong. I should not have done it. This is a thing. Ever so often, I'm sitting and I think, no, not with Beyonce. Every so often, I'm just sitting and I think, I cannot believe that you did that. Like, honest to God, there's like random times when I sit and I'm like, that was so wrong. Yeah, ranking the men. Okay, yeah, it was funny. It was funny at the time. It is still funny now, but it was still mean and it was still wrong. And I should not have done it. Gruesomely. Yeah. But it bothers me to this day. Like I will randomly be sitting and I will remember what that mushmouth man who was the delivering the stuff when he came up here, his mouth was foaming. What's his name? What's that mushmouth man? That's loud and obnoxious that cussed everyone out. Stan. Stan the man. Stan came up here and ever so often I remember I don't remember the way. Like, the truth is, he came up real disrespectful. But whenever I'm thinking about it, I can hear the desperation in his voice, the sadness in his voice, and the wanting of acceptance in his voice from the audience and myself. And I don't think, because at the time, I didn't think people cared the way they did about my opinion of them. And so when I think back, I think it was wrong. Girl, I'm not going to validate you because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I should not have done it in the first place. Like, you don't walk up to someone and say, I don't like you. You know what I mean? Like, so I didn't realize in what regard a lot of those men, some of them still watch, but I didn't realize they had me in such high regard. And I it's the thing online that haunts me every, like, still. It is. Like, I feel bad. But anyway, I'm going to end this here. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. No, the thing is, one thing I'm going to own publicly. It's not that I grew and I should have, I now know better. At the time, I should have known, because I would not have done it with the women. I would not have done that with the women. And so I should not have done that with the men. I should not have done that. It was wrong. Dead wrong. I need nobody to tell me that. As soon as I, not as soon as I did it, that's a lie. It took me a while, but it was not a prompt. Like, someone didn't come to me and say, "Oh, Themis, that was wrong." I privated it on my own. I thought about it on my own. I did go and talk to my mom about it. Um, but this was like not some, I didn't get any pushback, I didn't get any flag, nothing was harmed on my end. I'm saying this because of something that I said in my Emigree book. So it wasn't because someone forced me to come to this realization. I just came to the realization. I was like, dang, Stan the man specifically really wanted your validation and you failed him like his daddy did. I'm being messy. You failed him just like his daddy did, and that was wrong. So that's that on that. Had to drop a joke in it, but yeah, I still feel bad for it. But what can you do? All right, I'm done. Have a wonderful day.